Bach to the podium.
Madam Deputy Speaker, honourable members, as a matter of legal history, it is broadly accepted that there were two primary evils in the apartheid legal order: parliamentary supremacy and strict legal positivism. Parliamentary supremacy, in simple terms, meant that Parliament could pass laws in an unconstrained manner, and those who applied the law had to give effect to these laws, irrespective of whether they believed it to be right or wrong. In this regard, former Deputy Chief Justice Tik Tok pointed out that, and I quote, "Under apartheid, Parliament enjoyed supremacy, and no constitutional Bill of Rights provided any fetter on its legislative powers. Oppressive laws passed by Parliament could, for the most part, not be challenged by the courts. The apartheid regime was sustained by a lack of accountability and the construct of parliamentary sovereignty." At the time when the South African Parliament enjoyed parliamentary sovereignty, the appellate division and the judiciary more generally was a weak check on Parliament's powers. Parliament essentially enjoyed a monopoly on power. Close quote. Other academic legal scholars have also analysed the damage caused by the system of parliamentary supremacy and the related tendency for other state organs to simply apply the laws. In this regard, one such commentator remarked that it is essential that we should learn to say no to unwarranted parliamentary violations of human rights, and advocated for the establishment of a true human rights culture in our country, arguing forcefully that to achieve this, the rule of law must be strongly supported. Deputy Speaker, honourable members, this commentator is none other than Dr. Don Hlophe. In a learned article in the South African Law Journal of February 1995, it is the very same Dr. Hlophe who now proclaims that our legal system, the one transformed from an apartheid-enabling system to one founded on the rule of law and human rights, is nothing but a system imposed upon us by our former colonizers, and is, if not the problem, then at least part of the problem in our country. He is, of course, now the leader of the MK party in this House. A cursory reading of the election manifesto of the MK party makes it very clear that they are not constitutionally inclined. Their goal, clearly stated, is to destroy our constitution. A constitution painstakingly drafted, lauded internationally, and one that has served us well. MK would replace our constitutional democracy with a government of parliamentary supremacy. Now, we know from our painful history that it is precisely that structure of government that gave rise to apartheid, the passing of racially discriminatory laws, and the causing of untold misery for all South Africans. Yet, upon entering the service of South Africans in this House, all MK MPs, like all other MPs, swore an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. Those who drafted our Constitution did not contemplate a situation where those found wanting, when entrusted with upholding our Constitution, could simply move to another position where the same obligation was to be sworn to. However, the drafters, in their infinite wisdom, gifted us with the safeguard that to break down into constitutional supremacy and the rule of law requires the support of at least 75% of the members of this House. They did this because they realized that we needed a definitive break with parliamentary supremacy if our constitutional democracy is to withstand those who try to subvert it. This firewall we will work ceaselessly to protect. The parliamentary leader of MK also swore an oath to uphold the Constitution when he became a judge, an oath that he regarded with such frivolity that he has become the first judge to be impeached in democratic South Africa for behaviour so odious, so beyond the pale, that he was found guilty of gross misconduct by the Judicial Services Commission. Now, this is the man who is before you all today, a man who swore an oath repeatedly to defend and uphold our Constitution, yet he has now a stated intent to destroy our constitutional democracy. This is the type of political smoke and mirror game that is to be expected A true homecoming for someone who has always seen himself as a politician, a man who cannot be trusted. Our Constitution embodies a never again moment.
Please take your seat. Would you please take your seat? There is a point of order.
Honourable Speaker, I rise on the point of order. Rule 43, actually 53 is very clear that we can't have a member insinuating or insulting and disrespectful to another member of parliament. Rule 53 is very clear. So if Honourable Breitenbach can withdraw that, because she forgets herself that she's from NPA and she was charged criminally, so she can't impugn this to another member of parliament. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. In your point of order, you in fact did the exact same thing as what you are accusing the Honourable Member at the podium. Honourable Members, order. Honourable Breitenbach, you came extremely close to falling foul of Rule 53. So please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I see it is... Our Constitution embodies a never-again moment. Never again will we allow the rule of men to threaten our democracy, our human rights and our freedom. We will work ceaselessly during this 7th administration, from one debate to the next, to expose those who yearn for the system that enabled personal ambitions to trump the law. I thank you.
I now call